Good morning and welcome to the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live. I'm your boy Shawn and Dave alongside the homie storyteller. It is Sunday, November the 3rd. I'm pretty sure you guys are all thrown off right now. Seeing that the clocks did go back an hour. So we might be a little early. We might be a little late. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Welcome back. For all those who are joining in for the first time. We appreciate you joining us each and every Sunday where we come in and give you guys all of our unfiltered sports takes, analysis, unprofessional, breakdowns and such. But, just to get some things out the way, as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Be sure to listen, like, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. Visit us online at the Hot Seat Podcast.com. Let me bring in Brother Earl real quick. Just bring in Brother Earl real quick.
Earl.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get him on in there.
What's up, y'all?
How we feeling?
What's up, man?
It's always something. What's going on?
What's up? I'll say this. I was awake, laying there for that extra hour, like, I don't know what to do. Might as well just get my head.
2:30 this morning.
First of all, your ass went to bed at 8:30. That alone.
I mean, yeah.
Your body probably needed it, but hey.
Shooting guns, man. I guess it take a lot out of you.
Facts. How you feeling? I got my coffee in hand.
I wish I drank coffee. The experience that I had with coffee ain't been good, man. It makes you shit. So I'm like, I don't know how people can go to work, drink that in the morning without being in fear of like, yo, they're gonna have to let that shit go.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, that is part of it, but that's not all coffee. I will say this, as we've all traveled a bit. When you go into those places that give you the real coffee, it doesn't hit like that. Like everything we do here in the States, you can eat certain things and your body just doesn't process it well. But you can go abroad where you're getting good, high quality, beverages or food, and you feel great. Especially when you go to islands and stuff like that. Man, your body is not getting rid of all those toxins because ain't none of that in it.
Plus, if you drink your coffee straight, like black and everything else like that, that's the way. If you do like me with the creamers and the sugars and things like that, that's what makes you go to the bathroom. It's not actually the coffee.
Look at that sounding like
I've had black coffee and it just didn't. It still
just
did
the extras. I got you.
That is the way.
What's up, Jay?
You know what
I figured because it was beans, I didn't know if it had to
just all the beans are the same.
Yeah, I thought it was
coffee beans,
group them all
pork
together.
And beans.
Oh man,
bing.
Collard green beans. I don't know. I just made that up just now.
See.
Yeah,
you know what?
Let's jump right into some football action. Let's talk about these college kids first, man. It was a really, really good weekend in college football. A lot of upsets. How much football did you guys watch yesterday? For one, did you get some games in?
Watching live, I was honestly traveling. Went up to go get moms real quick up in Delaware, but I seen a lot of highlights. I catch some glimpse of things. I saw Michigan trying to hang in there. The second quarter killed them. So I saw a couple of things. I saw the Ohio State Penn State game. That was a real good one.
Well, you stay right there. We can go right into that. Man, so Penn State went into this game number 3. Ohio State went in at 4-0. So both teams went in. Penn State went in undefeated in this case, and they lose a very, very tight game. It was 20-13. But they really didn't put up any offense after that first quarter. They scored 3 points in the third. They lose to Ohio State. And kind of like what goes down in Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. There's a thing there that if you don't beat whatever your particular team is, Ohio State, you must beat Michigan. Michigan, we need your ass to beat Ohio State. Penn State, I'm assuming this goes the same thing. You need to be Ohio State. James Franklin has been there for a little while now, and even with his team at 7-1,
beat anybody.
Yeah, right.
Forget Ohio State. He needs
Yeah.
to beat any ranked team known to man.
Well, as of right now, man, I'm looking at it. James Franklin may be on his way out. I'm looking at it. Yeah, bro, it's looking rough. I know you didn't watch the game, but what's just your take knowing that conference and how things operate there? What's your feel on James Franklin's future in Happy Valley?
Well, it matters how they're looking at him, to be honest with you. This is more than just this game. Under James Franklin, they haven't been able to win the big game, period.
Yeah.
Year after year. It has nothing to do with this last game.
Right.
But they've stuck with him.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you just need a change. Now, realize this, not to give an excuse, but they went into the game and their quarterback was injured. I mean, if you even saw when he walked onto that field, like he looked hurting while he was walking.
Yeah.
But they could have won that game. You know, there were certain play calls that were made that I'm just like, come on, man. Do what you did to get you up to this point. I always say that, don't I? Whether it's NFL or college, I'm like, just do
got you there.
Do. Yeah. Do what you do best. I don't know why we change things up. But especially that interception in the end zone, if you saw that, and that goal line stance, and like all that stuff going on, they were still in the game. And there's certain times when you just need play calling to be right. And for some reason, when those lights start shining on James Franklin, I have no idea what happens, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like he clocks out. He clocks out. And like I said, it's not just this game. So push this game out to the side. I've been wondering, like, yo, Penn State, you can honestly grab just about any coach out there when they're available. You're not like a squad that's like you're sitting back like, man, we have a lack of talent. No, people are still coming there, even though you're not winning.
Right.
Winning the big games, you're not winning those. People are still coming there. And side note, if you have never been, let me put it this way. If you've never been to a college game, get to one. That's number one. But if you've never been to a Penn State game and you live somewhere in the area, listen, you don't even have to be a fan. It's a different environment. That team is on the field. You know how they say for the Seahawks, they got the 12th man? Yeah. That's that's how it is when you go and play in Penn State. They have to figure it out, man. They got to figure it out. They're living more tradition than right now.
Yeah, they've lost 8 straight to Ohio State. James Franklin has been there since 2014.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, so it's and at a time where Ohio State ain't even at its best. I mean, they're not at their best. I mean, you know, it's not that this year when you think about the top teams, Ohio State isn't one of the ones you think of, you know, off the top of your head, you know. And I forgot, me personally, that Penn State was even undefeated. So that's how, and I'm tapped into it. It just didn't give that. Usually, you know, when these teams, you know, all the talk is about them, and it really hasn't been. And I think it might have been the case where Penn State they've been winning, but it's been like nothing over top. And I think this loss to Ohio State may have been inevitable. And
they have no more ranked games either.
Yeah. And they may have been the part that it may be unfortunate, but again, he's been there since 2014, almost 10 years now, or 10 years. This may be the nail in the coffin for a team that only lost one game this season so far, which is
well, you had two coaches going yesterday for that game that they were on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Because trust me, if it was the other way around and Ohio State lost that game, Dave's going too.
Yeah.
He hasn't won no big game. So they were both on the hot seat in that game. Why go back and watch the video after the game? You would have thought Day and Ohio State won the national championship after that game.
Yes.
Because he know his ass was on the line.
Yeah, man.
So
it's been rough. What you got, Earl? I mean, I know, did you watch any of the game, or what other takes you got, man? I know, you know what you got.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I put some tickets in, so that forces me to watch.
You talking money.
Yeah, that forces me to watch. I just want to say, yo, thank you to freaking Arkansas for screwing me because they got their ass whooped by Ole Miss. But anyway, Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. Penn State, they shouldn't be in the struggle to find the coach. You know what I'm saying? It's a winning program. They don't take much. Like, you're gonna get recruits. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really hard to turn that shit around. So they shouldn't have an issue, in that realm.
Yeah.
But another I don't know if y'all wanted to shift another coach that is on a hot seat. Yo, what is my man? What school is this dude from? I just lost my train of thought because I was like, yo, he got to go. Oh my god, it's gonna come back to me. It's gonna come back to me.
Let's go to a team that didn't have to worry about a loss this week, and they're ranked. Your alma mater, Colorado. They're ranked 23 in the AP poll.
Motherfucking right.
Week. Second in the Big 12 with remaining games against Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State, who all have a combined record in the Big 12 of 6-16. I was watching as I was up this morning, first thing, because this hour took me back. They do not play BYU or Iowa State.
Sorry, just my bad, because I ain't want to lose it too. Florida State.
Jeez.
Florida State, he got to go. And potentially Lincoln Riley, he might have to go too, bro.
There's no potentially about it, but go ahead. We'll get to it.
That's it. Go ahead.
They have best 6-16. Big 12 record for the remaining teams that Colorado plays this year, who are 6-2 right now. They are bowl eligible in their second year of Deion's tenure. And they have the potential, man, one, to make the Big 12 championship game. And if they pull the upset, because more than likely they'll probably end up playing BYU. They went out. They will end up in the college football playoff, the first year of the 12-team playoff. How wild would that be if that goes that? Because one and two, that game is played down in Jerry's house. It's played down at AT&T Stadium.
Won't be wild at all, yo. I believe the whole time, yo. I believe. D.I. came in and he told us at JSU, I believe. And I believed. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff to me and low key to him is like, yo, it was already written. You know what I'm saying? It's just for y'all naysayers. I ain't talking about you. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about y'all naysayers, talking about the people that ain't believe. Don't jump on the bandwagon now. That's all I'm saying. Don't jump on the bandwagon now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna ride off into the sunset. Because if you lose out from here on out, he had a great season. But that ain't gonna happen.
No, I think they can win. Oklahoma State has not won one conference at all. Kansas State, I think, only got like one win.
These next 4 games, they're gonna go 3-4.
Yeah, their toughest matchup will be that Texas Tech game.
And they're gonna beat them. I said it. 11-3.
I heard it right here.
9:51. They're gonna beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, I heard it right here. What's your take, Dave? What you got?
Colorado, like I told you before,
they can beat Michigan too.
They can. Are you talking shit on them? But guess what? We got a chip. So let's keep on going. Colorado, it's not going to be so much this year to me. I've said it over and over again. My fear for Colorado is after this year.
Yes, true.
Am I surprised that they'll make a bowl game? No, I'm not surprised. But what's going to happen after this year? I have no idea. There's so many question marks, man. I'm honestly scared for that university, because I don't care what Deion says. I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden you didn't see him there next year. I would not be surprised. And it's nothing against him. I'm not putting it out there like, oh, he shouldn't. No, I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if you see him pop up somewhere else next year, whether it's in college or somehow he made it into the NFL. And he's somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised.
Today's point, and to circle back around to you, Earl, Florida State. I would not be now. I don't know, but I would not be surprised if after this season they have a successful season. Let's say they end up season 9-3, 10-2, whatever the case may be. They win their bowl game, whatever. Shadur's gone, those guys out there, and Florida State be like, hey, Come on back home to your alma mater. And you think, and for one, the recruiting, I don't think will be a problem. He's down in Florida. He went to Florida State.
Not an issue
You know
at
what I'm
all.
saying? So, like, yeah, he'll be competing with potentially Miami and some of those guys down there. But yeah, how crazy
Again,
is that?
I'll say this, and this was my argument. It's a huge possibility that Dion is going to be gone next year.
Yeah.
My argument to a couple of my buddies was he's not going to the NFL. The notion that they feel like he's going to go coach his sons, like he got 2 sons. Right now, one is definitely going to the NFL. The other one, it's up in the air. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, that narrative is not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? If you want to count Travis as his son, he got a bonus son. He ain't nowhere in the hell he's going to be able to coach all of them. So like that's not going to happen. Right. 2, he couldn't coach them anyway. He can't coach Shador. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not offense. You know what I'm saying? He can't. I mean, the best bet is him being a D coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but even then, like he truly ain't really qualified for that. Like I see him, if he comes into the league, he's going to be a positions coach, and that'll be the closest thing that he'll be able to get to coaching either Travis or Shiloh if he gets there. But he has
me
no
personally,
time.
I'm staying in college.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of coaches that jump into the NFL and they don't realize their stance is so solid in college that just like the Dion effect, bringing in that money. Those type of things don't matter so much in the NFL. It's either you're winning or you're losing at most places. Besides
that's what I was explaining. I was like, yo, in the NFL, the fan base is different, yo.
Yeah,
they care about wins and losses and chips. Not to say that college don't, and it's money. Whereas in college, it's like it's tradition. It's sometimes you lose the whole season as long as you beat your rival. We good. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: is there a possibility that he can meet Colorado? He can leave Colorado? Absolutely. And you know what? Just like with Jackson State, Colorado can't even get mad because he's made y'all more money in 2 years than y'all made in probably the last 20. You know what I'm saying? He's increased. He brought relevance to Colorado. He's increased enrollment. So y'all can't say nothing. If anything, you just be lucky that y'all was able to ride on that Dion train for 2 years. So now, if I can see, because Florida State more than likely their coach is out of there. If they win, I would say this: if they win out and they end up with they get at least 3-1 wins, whether they win the bowl game or not, I think he out of there. And I think Florida State is going to come a knocking. And I think he's going to go
He'll get co-signed by Bobby Bowden. That his price tree down there now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all these other, people. They because at first, remember that came up before about him getting that job potentially or him.
It was too soon.
Right. And something happened there. And then, he ended up, of course, bringing, if I'm correct, he brought Travis Hunter from Florida. So remember, he flipped him from Florida State. No. Not him.
No.
Not him. It was, damn, who was the other kid? It wasn't. I apologize. It was somebody else.
Nah.
It was the other, and I apologize. It was another kid that he flipped from Florida State to bring them out there with him. But in any case, though, yeah,
no, it was the kid that
I'm trying to remember who it was.
It was another DB, the number 1 DB. I think, right. But I think they flipped him from Miami, from the University of Miami.
No, he didn't come from Miami. I'm pretty sure.
No. He was a high schooler. He was committed.
I got you.
He was committed, I believe, to Miami, and then they flipped him, and now he's the one. He ain't playing with Colorado no more. He actually plays with Florida.
Right.
McLean, Carmani McLean.
So yeah, either way, man, it's been a successful season for these guys so far. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see if they actually can get into that playoff because you're talking about the lights being bright. Gosh almighty. Gosh.
Honestly speaking, it's one of them things where I don't see how they wouldn't, because like this is money, bro. Like that's the biggest ticket in college football right now. Ain't nothing more. There's no team that's more exciting that probably draws in more people than Colorado has done consistently.
Yeah.
Like all of these big, like Georgia is cool. You know what I'm saying? LSU ain't LSU no more. Penn State ain't Penn State no more. Michigan ain't Michigan no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's open in Florida State. Miami got buzz. Like Miami is looking like the Miami of old, you know what I'm saying? Or at least the wave that they ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so it's like if you marketing, you got to go with what's the hot ticket, what's the popular and hot ticket. And honestly, it's Colorado and it's Miami in my book.
Here's a question, a really good question. That Gary posed in this case. How many years does a coach owe a program before moving on to the next one?
Man, you grown. It depends. No, how many? I guess the question is how many years does Dion owe before he moves on? That's the question. He can move as he wants. Now, if you a regular person, a regular Joe Smo, I think that's a different answer.
Let me ask you something. No matter what your contract is, can the university come and say you're gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can leave whenever the hell I want to.
Same like with a regular job.
So I can leave whenever the hell I want to.
Exactly. I don't owe you shit.
That's that answer.
Because I signed a 5-year contract.
But hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's stay because you brought up something real quick, Earl. Tag me in real quick because I do want to vent on something real quick. Let's stay in college. So something that people ain't talking about too much, but I brought up just about every single week because I said all these conferences are pretty much pulling in all these teams. Well, Lincoln Riley, I want you to come in front of the congregation because I want to talk about welcome to the Big Ten.
Pull up a chair. Pull up a chair.
Yeah, pull up a chair, Mr. Lincoln. I believe USC was all talked about throughout the years, even before they came into the Big Ten. They got Lincoln Riley. Oh, this is what's going to happen. Oh, Caleb Williams effect. Oh, yeah. See what I did there, blah, blah, blah. Oh, now we're going into this Big Ten. USC is currently 4-5 overall, and they are 2-5 in the Big Ten. If you were supposed to be this powerhouse, I believe who they just lose to? Was it Washington? I believe it was Washington that they just lost to. I'm just trying to scroll up and check. But either way,
I get my unfiltered.
Yeah, either way, when you sit back and you look and you just think you're going to come in here and run house, that's not the story. Everybody's not going to be coming into a conference like Oregon did.
Yep, 26.
Oregon's different. Yeah, okay. Totally different type of team. But here's a team in the Big Ten that no one's speaking about. Have y'all seen Indiana?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up real quick. Because I wasn't thinking anything about them. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, if you would have ran down Big Ten teams.
And Army.
Yeah. If you were going to bring up Big Ten teams, I don't even know where Indiana would have fell for me when I would have ran down certain things.
Yeah.
And this is not a shot at Gary. I know they just played Michigan State. This is Indiana, period. They look good, man.
Yeah.
They look good. A team well put together. Anybody can shine different days. Gary said. But it's not just this week, Gary. It's not just this week. Like they look good. There's some teams out there that are shockers to us, but to them, they kind of knew that they were coming in with something.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to give a shout out to Indiana on that one.
47-10 Michigan State, 31-17 over Washington, 56-7 over Nebraska, 41-24 over Northwestern, 42-28 over Maryland. They beat Western Illinois. I know a lower tier squad, 77-3. They started off the season over FIU, 31-7. They're pretty good, guys. They're pretty good.
Excuse me. Yeah. Sure.
And there's nothing that's really. They're offensively, they're like middle of the pack, if you want to call it that. So like 19th in passing, 30th in rushing, but they're first in scoring, and their points against, you're barely getting 2 touchdowns, 13.7. Their defense is bazaling.
Bazaling.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tag me. I gotta tag me in.
All right.
So as y'all can see, as you can clearly see, upon my here bald head, I have adorned a Army cap. This ain't a new cap. I've had this for quite some time. Yes, I am a University of Miami Hurricane fan, but I also am true and through an Army guy. Army veteran.
IDTC. Don't leave
Hey,
them out.
don't disrespect now. Let me run. No disrespect now. And I will say that I told Dave the other day off mic, I'm experiencing probably the greatest season ever in sports fandom. With
Especially
King
football.
undefeated, Commanders doing their thing. The Caps have started off great. But we see how that go. And Army is a legit 8-0, ranked 21.
And they don't throw the ball.
No, they don't throw the ball at all, guys.
The quarterback has more rushing yards than passing. Amazing.
I love it. I love it. He literally yesterday, the box score yesterday, man. So Dwayne
He didn't play yesterday.
Dwayne, but even in the quarterback yesterday, Dwayne Coleman had 48 yards passing. Their running back, Kanye Udo, 158 yards rushing. And then Dwayne Coleman there, their same running back, 42 yards. So they had 207 yards just rushing, 48 yards passing. And that's how they play. Like, they are physical. They beat the brakes off of Air Force yesterday. Go Army. And then now we're a little over a month away from the Army-Navy game, which Navy did take a L. And that's actually happening at Commander Stadium on December 14th. It's a great season, man. That I had to reach out to my daughter. And she was talking about that the uniforms are dope. That's a game that I want to get to, like Dave was talking about, the Penn State game. The Army-Navy game, if you guys ever watched the Army-Navy game, college football in general, the energy in those stadiums is insane.
It's different.
But it is, man. Back in the day, it's not so much now. Like the Georgia-Florida game will be crazy. Penn State game against Ohio State is always crazy. Michigan against Ohio State is always crazy. It's a good time for football right now. So salute to the guys over there at Army, man. The Army Black Knights. Got to love it. At the same time, though, let's talk about something that I want to get you guys' take on it, because there was a couple of things that happened over the weekend, which I thought was cool and dope, but also there's been a few things, and then that's going to set us up for going into NFL talk. So now the celebrations, also known as cellies, as they call them there, there's a lot of that happening. It's always been happening, but it seems like now the celebrations are getting insane. So did you guys see the video of the defensive lineman? No. With the one he did the headstand?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he got flagged on it. That was actually a high school game. The name of you talk about IDTC. The name of that school was like, what was it called? Innard Ward or something. It was like some prep school. But my man legit did, and I couldn't get a clean
headstand type joint. Yeah.
That's the thing. They
like he's breakdancing.
Right. And you see that happening. You're seeing other celebrations happening, and then you're also seeing celebrating that's happening on NFL level. And here's my question. Are we getting to the point now that the celebrations are getting too much, considering sometimes a team may not be winning, or it may cost them?
I'm glad you put that in there.
Right. Or it ends up just being like more about them than about the actual team itself. What's y'all take on that, man?
Okay. Let me touch on something, because I didn't know if you would say it at one point. I don't mind people celebrating. I mean, if you go back, remember like Icky Shuffle and all that type of stuff, they used to go crazy. Dion went crazy in the end zone and stuff. So I don't mind a good celebration.
Okay.
It's when you're getting killed and you score that touchdown and your celebration is more strong than how you're playing on the field. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, where did all this energy come from? And I know we'll get to it, it's when you start celebrating before you get to the end zone.
We're gonna talk about that.
We'll just keep that there. We'll roll that into where we're gonna go. So I don't mind a good celebration. I do mind that certain refs in the league in general don't realize a celebration is just that. It's just a celebration.
Yeah.
When our guy, who was it? Was it
Slade? All he did was point.
Did the
All he
first
did was point, bro.
They made it seem like he did the
He was
gunshot
shooting a gun,
and all that
right.
type of, and I'm like, he's just waving for the first, and they gave him a flag. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, come on, man. Like, we can't get that touchy. But yeah, I come from the age of when they used to go off. You think this is something? Nah, man. Like that, and it brings those eyes onto the field. Like what's his name? That's the influencer, Kai.
Mhm.
When he's telling them how to celebrate, like Travis Hunter and all them, how to celebrate, and then they do it on the field. That draws eyes, that draws attention, that brings in money. Maybe from an age group that may have not even been looking at it. You know, not everybody is sports fans, but they'll look just for that point. So I don't think it's over the top in that sense, but it's when they do it at certain times in certain situations, and I'm sitting there like, heck with the celebration. Score another touchdown. Like, we're down by 3 touchdowns right now. So
what was it? The Key and Peele skit when he was doing like the pump in the end zone, and he was actually
He said one more. One more.
Oh man, it's again, it's just something that's been part of the game for the longest time. You can go back to Joe Horn with the cell phone, T.O. with the pom-poms and all this other stuff here, man. It's I guess now you're just seeing it more, but to your point is when you're getting blown out, or you haven't played well all game, and then you decide to celebrate and be like,
huge celebration.
Like, what are we doing?
Clapping it up with your team is one thing. I'm talking about the huge. You're making your teammates into pins and you're rolling the ball. And I'm like, bro, like we are losing.
Out, dog.
I will say this though, for the guys on defense, I want to give them a little bit more shine than anything, because the football in general, they've taken so much out of the defensive side of it. You can tell you got to celebrate when you're able to make a good defensive play, because you can't touch a receiver, you can't tackle a quarterback.
That's a good point.
So it's like, hey, like when the guys run out to the other end of the field because of a turnover, something like that, I think it's dope, because oftentimes and not,
because the Giants are always losing, and I need Sexy Dexy to do his dance. So I agree. I agree with that.
That's dope. Like, if you tackle them too hard, if you put all your body weight on them. Question for you. What the hell is an illegal hands to the face? Isn't hands to the face illegal anyway? What's illegal block?
I don't even want to talk about some of those calls, because if you're going to calls, I mean, what was that last week when old boy got the face mask in the end zone and they didn't call, like, it was so obvious.
Yeah, he was standing right there. Illegal block in the back. Isn't a block in the back illegal? What? I'm confused. Let's go right into that game that we were talking about, and wrapping into that topic. So last week, sorry, Chicago Bears fans, y'all was talking all this shit during the week. Y'all had our hearts broke. And I ain't gonna lie,
they were talking it on the field, during the play.
Speaking of celebration,
So so leading up to this game, I will say, you talking about a team that's taking take years off your life. That's the Commanders for me last week, because I was literally in the chat, was like, yo, they blew this damn game, because take the Hail Mary aside, that should have been a blowout for Washington, but they had two touchdowns taken back. They had a touchdown get dropped by Zach Ertz. You had an illegal man downfield twice. That's 21 points right there. And that alone would have been like, okay, we got to work on that. So we think the game is over. Caleb Williams goes down the field. They score. The defense, they give up that touchdown and such. They fumble. They try to get a game back because they fumble going into the end zone, handing it off to the offensive lineman. So their coach, I don't know about him. We'll talk about him in a minute. But so Washington has about 20-some seconds left. The Bears are playing horrible defense. Tyreek Stevenson, a second-year corner, drafted in the second round. He ends up playing the play prior to the Hail Mary. He's pretty much just talking to the fans in the end zone. They're not paying attention. They give up an out route to Terry McLaurin to allow them to get a little closer. And then the infamous Hail Mary. Tyreek Stevenson is on the other side of the field. He said he was talking to Chicago Bears fans. I don't know if he was talking whatever. The play starts almost 5 seconds in. His receiver's running out for the Hail Mary. he gets back into the play. And not only that, he ends up being the person who tips the ball up and back into Noah Brown's hand. Game over, walk off, Hail Mary touchdown. Which all leads that into Hail Mary Jaden, and then whether Jaden Daniels should be considered Rookie of the Year. I think he should have that one, but now the talk is, should he be considered for MVP? What's y'all take on that? Start happening there.
Okay, let's go through a couple of things. Should he be considered for MVP? Hell yeah. What does it stand for? Most valuable player.
I like how you think.
Is he not the most valuable player on your team?
Absolutely.
Has he not changed things overnight for the Commanders? Yes. So should he be considered for it, and should he be up there in the talks? Hell yeah. I wish Neighbors would have never got hurt. I think it would have been a nice going to the finish line. And think about that. Jaden Daniels and Neighbors.
Yeah.
The people that placed the bet before going into the season, going at it in that type of sense. But that's a good look for LSU, to be honest with you. But when we go to that play, we've always said this, and I think just about everybody agrees. I hate prevent defense.
Oh my God.
I despise it.
Yep.
I hate we can allow this many yards and all that type of stuff. You can have people back in coverage without just letting people get 10, 15, 20-yard gains just easily. And that play would have never happened if they didn't get those yards beforehand on an easy type level. So the coaching for them is horrible, and they got to figure it out because they have a squad over there. I mean, let's go back. I'm going to be real with you. Remember, last week, I picked Chicago. Now, I picked Chicago because I didn't think Jaden Daniels was playing. Then right before the game, all of a sudden, now he's playing. I was like, shit. I think I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. But Chicago could have won that game, even with Jaden Daniels playing.
Yeah.
Their coaching is horrible, man.
It
is horrible.
It's trash. And
they better figure it out because they got their guy there, whether you believe in Caleb or not. He's there, and he has people around him.
Right.
And if you waste this time right now, you may not waste only this season. You're going to waste this career because what else have I ever told y'all about these young quarterbacks? It's their self-esteem.
Yeah.
And when you keep losing and everybody getting on you and you're supposed to be the savior, and then you see somebody out your draft doing it over there and you were picked ahead of them, and they're like, well, where you at? There's always going to be that comparison, whether it's year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be that comparison. So they better get it right. But yeah, man, I mean, old boy sitting up there talking to the crowd while the play is going on. Like,
and then the coach was so, like, when they asked him right after that, because the Hail Mary aside, the play, like to your point, the play prior to that, they allow
you stupid fish. I just saw.
I would get to him in a minute. I'm gonna light his ass up in a second. They allowed them that out route, which is about a 13-yard out route to Terry, that allowed Jaden to actually get in position to throw the Hail Mary. Hell, Tony Romo, this is the one time I agree with Tony Romo. I was like, damn, all he needs is an out route. He throws that bitch and allows it to get closer. And at the same time, you see on the sideline, Matt Eberflus is not even paying attention. Caleb Williams is trying to pull him off. Then he's telling him, hey, you guys need to move up. Like all of that. And then in his press conference, he was like, that yard, those yards didn't really matter. Prior to the plays, always hear him. What do you mean, brother? What do you mean? And two, that team was not executing the entire game. Chicago looks like a team that has some great defense.
That was a struggle.
Right. And the skill players, they're going to waste a lot of talent, kind of like similar to what the Chargers were doing for a long time, wasting a lot of talent, then can't pay these guys. And then all of a sudden, you got to cut somebody or let somebody go because they don't want to be there. I hope Roma Dunze has a good career, but I don't know how long that's going to last in Chicago. I'm going to tell you that. Not playing how they are playing. That offensive line needs help. But again, I don't even think Matt Eberflus, he may not be back next season, bro. But it is Chicago, so they might just allow that to happen. I don't know what's happening there. And two, you got that, and some other stuff is going on. Tyreek Stevens is one, but you also are hearing some veteran players like, hey, man, we need to be coached harder. Like it's a lot of stuff that's happening there that it looks like he's not a good man, for the fit of that position. Real quick, I agree on the MVP part. I know a lot of people say it's going to be Lamar Jackson, and I get it. I understand. But from a value standpoint, he is.
You said should he be considered for it?
Yeah, considered for it. But I know they're going to go to stats. They're going to look at stats. And more than likely, Lamar Jackson probably will end up getting the MVP this year, unless Washington does something that's so crazy. Like, they will literally have to probably win out and then some for him to probably end up getting that trophy.
Look, I'm going to put it right back at for Fish. If they handed the ball off more at the end zone to Saquon so he could score, he would be up for MVP.
Right? Yeah. You lying.
I'm telling you, hands down. Hands down. Earl and I get pissed when we're betting for the Eagles because Saquon is an easy anytime scorer for a bet.
Yep.
If they gave him the ball at the end zone.
Yep.
So there's about a good, 3 or 4. I mean, they still score. So I know on Fisher's side of things, hey, they scored. They can win the game. We're good. But when we're talking like MVP and like players and things like that, Saquon would easily be up there if
what it reminds me of?
They gave him more of those touchdowns.
You remember the movie Varsity Blues when they would use the running back? If you remember, it's an old school junk. They had Billy Bob that was in there, like the big chunky guy, and he had the black guy. He was the running back in there, and they also, rest in peace to Paul Walker. He was the quarterback on there. So during the game, he got his knee broken up there. Then the other guy from Dawson's Creek ended up being his replacement. But there was a part of the scene where the running back, he would do all the dirty work between the 20s. And then once they get down into the end zone, they would choose to pass the ball. In this case, they was like, hey, man, so at the end of the game, after he heals up and they get out, I forget the antagonist of the game there, the coach, they end up getting him out of there, and they finally end up giving him, the running back, the ball down in the end zone. I feel like that's what they do,
right? And then what you don't know is if people contracts, like incentives are set up that way.
Right.
You get what I mean? Like, imagine if it's like, if I score 15 plus touchdowns for the season, I get X amount of extra dollars. And they're like, yeah, we just gonna we gonna do this right here. That's what happened to who did they bench? Was it no, it wasn't Bryce Young. Somebody that got benched. No, it's Fields. Yes. Everybody's wondering why Fields got benched, and yes, they're looking smoother as far as getting yards underneath Russell Wilson as far as throwing the ball. But also don't think that they didn't have in the back of their mind, oh, what is it in this trade clause? He has to play how many games?
Yeah. And
they sat him. Right. Pretty much going up to that point. So these contracts, they're put together in a certain type of way.
So to answer real quick, so we move on there. So for G-Fish. So I get it. I understand. I understand. You know what? I was wrong last week about the Eagles. I was. I'll take that. But real quick though, you got Washington. Even if I guess we got a really good kicker because they actually averaged 30 points a game compared to the Eagles, who average about 24 points. Washington has a +4 differential in turnovers compared to the -4 in Philly, which includes 7 interceptions thrown by your quarterback and a few fumbles as well. So I just want to let you know, them numbers do matter. So I would say we got to meet November 22nd or something like that.
Go look at stats.
Yeah, look, hey, I'm just saying. So that being the case, man, you were talking about quarterback. You talk about Anthony Richardson, and in general, we're talking about Beavis Dunn. So another one bites the dust. Colts, they benched Anthony Richardson, and this is going to go to a bigger conversation that I want to ask you guys. When's the last time that a first-round draft pick of a quarterback has been benched, and then he came back, and it was all for the better of him? I'm dead ass question. I don't have an answer.
I mean, what's his name? What's his name's trying to prove that now?
Who, Phil?
Who?
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, he's trying, but it's so far off from.
Yeah,
It's so far off. Like
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
That's not the same
That's
situation.
not, it's different for him.
Yeah, that's why I said there's so many
Yeah.
years gaps there and
Yeah.
experiences and things. But
And
I
he's
know
had
what you're
multiple
leading to.
opportunities,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
recall
know.
one, man. I literally don't recall
That's
one.
true, Fish.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. There isn't not one that I can think of. I even think about. So you got Anthony Richardson. Will he bounce back from this? I don't know. You already see what's happening with Bryce Young down in Carolina. Justin
be able to throw
Fields.
the ball though, man.
Yeah,
This
Justin
ain't
Fields
about bouncing back. He
still
ain't
out there.
throwing the ball.
Yeah, I got
You're
that.
a quarterback where they don't trust you throwing the ball. Like it's very.
What makes this
Very tough.
situation even worse
And he's
is
always
that
hurt.
you got a 40-something-year-old that's coming behind you that throw the ball. So it's like it's possible, you're just not doing it. So,
but here's the thing, though. They started him too early, man. Like they when they started him, like Anthony Richardson is insanely talented, the physicality, all of that. But he's so raw that he needs to be developed, or they need to have a team built up around him. Say, okay, what do you do well?
Well, that's why
we're gonna run the ball, and we're gonna do this.
They use him as a running back who throws.
Right.
That's what they use him as.
That's classic black quarterback from back in the day.
The crazy thing is they can't say that they didn't have the opportunity to develop him because 2 years now they had feasible starting quarterbacks. Then when they're backup, they had Minshew, who they could have just let start.
Yep.
And then they also have now you got Flacco. Just
Right.
let them go ahead and start, and let them develop. But the problem is, and we've been saying this for the longest, like if you are a quarterback in your top tier, it's like they want you to come in and be good now, and it's like there's no data that has shown that has been successful. It's been data that's shown, even in this new age, it's been data that's shown that has been successful if you let these guys develop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because then what happens,
and that's why you got to pay attention to where you go, Earl, because you know who's going to be next for that, Milroe.
Yeah.
But
then it's going to be a couple, and I'm not even just talking about black. But then, like, it sucks because, like, to your point, if you don't have strong representation that could help change the narrative for you, like an Eli or like a Dion or something like that, you kind of just go.
Keep that up there. So, Jay, I'm not even saying that he's going to be this stellar quarterback. What I'm saying is they picked him as if he was. And then they throw him in there to the Wolves and then expect some total change. And I'm sitting there like, where did you see that at? Yeah. I didn't see that in him. I didn't see that in, say, like Bryce Young. I didn't see that in him when he got drafted. I was like, where are they seeing this at where they think that this person is about to come in and you could just throw them into the Wolves? Because remember, if you're picking that high up, 9 times out of 10, something is broken on that exact position you're coming in at. So if you're coming in quarterback wise, 9 times out of 10, you probably ain't got an offensive line. You probably don't have dual receivers and things like that. Everybody's not coming into what Caleb Williams went into.
Right.
So, I never saw what they saw as far as how high they drafted Anthony Richardson as far as pulling him in there. But I'm saying if you're going to draft him in there, you can't throw him into the Wolves and then have him as a running back / I throw the ball. Mind you, let me throw this out there too. He gets injured over and over again, and you rush him back to the field. If this is supposed to be your future, why are you even rushing him back in the first place? He came back, I think, what'd he do? He injured his leg and his hip and stuff like that. They throw him right back on the field, and I'm like,
and then got injured. I remember what game was that?
Here's a part of this. This is the part where the line gets blurred, and I hate when people do this. And they jumped on Travis Hunter for what he said, and that's how I know people are so ignorant.
Yeah.
So when Travis Hunter was talking about all the stuff about, the stuff that they hear about them, we just trying to have fun. You say, and then at the end of the day, we just kids having fun. And then I've seen people, comment was like, well, if 21, what do you mean? You're 21 years old, you're getting paid. It's not you make you a kid, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, you gotta understand, bro. At the end, my son is about to be 20. He's still a kid in my eyes to me. So, and then people try to make the comparison to, well, at 18, you can go in the military. You got to be a man. That doesn't mean, look, I served. It was some motherfuckers who went in at 18 and they should have stayed their asses at home. The drill sergeant couldn't make them no more than a man.
So 2 things.
Wait.
No, 2 things real quick because we got the comments up there. If you go to Fish's comment with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Fish. Number one, I didn't look at Bryce Young in that type of way when he got drafted. But once again, they threw him to the wolves. Mind you, they they demolished their whole organization overnight when he came. And then expected him to be good. And I was like, I already didn't think much of Bryce Young. And then you throw him out there and everybody's gone. Your best player was gone. That was it. So that was on the Bryce Young thing. On Jay's comment with Daniel Jones, same exact thing. I had no idea why they jumped up there for him. I never saw it. Who was watching Duke? like I don't know where that scouting even went. Like when they jumped up there, I was like, because I think we had that draft.
Yeah.
I want to say that was a draft that rest in peace. What's his name was in? That's who you guys got. Haskins.
Haskins. Who was another quarterback who got benched and first round and it didn't. Yeah.
So I was like, who is this guy? And even if you thought something of this guy, what made you trade up to get him and give up other assets? So yeah, like some of that scouting, I'm like, what are you guys seeing that the regular average person doesn't see?
Both of these comments here between what G Fish said as far as organizations picking these young guys and then what Jay said, they're building up the numbers. You have to know what you're looking at. So Anthony Richardson only played 1 year of college football, full 12 games. That's it. And what happens is, yes, he can throw the long ball 70, 80 yards. But we also know there are professionals out there, professional people who don't play football, that you see all like the videos and TikTok, stuff like that, who can like, think about the guys who specializing in dunking. We always talk about, hey, they should bring them in for the dunk contest. Even though they don't play in the NBA, they just dunk. There's people who can go out there and throw a 70, 80-yard football.
They just dunk. That's it.
So, and Fish, you'll agree with this. Yes, organizations, they pick these young guys, don't put anything around them. They pick these young guys and don't know what the hell they're looking at. Because you could not have convinced me that drafting Bryce Young just off of his stature alone and watching him at Alabama was going to be the right situation for him in Carolina. You know you need a strong offensive line and a run game. He does not have a big arm, so he's accurate, but he's accurate in a space to where it's all timing. That's it. And he's like 5'9". He's like the same height as me. So, case in point, Vince, you like when we coached one of our players, and my first year coming on, Savon, they had him playing quarterback. We clearly, I wouldn't say, no, we need to put him at running back and middle linebacker. Yes, he can throw the ball. He can throw the ball along that field, but he cannot accurately place the ball there. Yes, when we did it, and if Fish, you remember this, it was a bit of a push and pull, like, hey, why are we moving you out of position? We're going to put you in a position that's better for you. No, they're not going to bring in Anthony Richardson and make him into a running back. What I mean is, look at what they've done with quarterbacks in the past. Go to a Tim Tebow. Not a good quarterback at all. But they built a system that was successful for him. That's what you do. And now by benching Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco, what are they doing? What are you going to win? What are you going to win?
I think, honestly, I mean, there's a couple of things. One, somebody like a Penix and somebody like a Love, they're going to be better.
Great situation.
Because they were able to develop.
Absolutely.
And I think what GMs need to start looking at and saying, hey, you know what? Because the quarterback is probably the most important position, you know what I'm saying, all facets on your team.
Yeah.
Like, and they're hard to come by. Like, if you really feel like this is the person, you got to protect that. You got to protect that aspect. Like, cultivate it, let it develop, make sure that you have somebody there so you're not rushing to put this guy in. Because, like, you end up having a situation like a Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold could have manifested this shit maybe 3-4 years ago if he was in the right situation, or if the GM there had the right mindset. Because it was like, he had this potential all along, but you threw him into a situation where he wasn't going to be successful. So it's like, they're seeing like a lot of these guys having like these like late bloomers is like, yo, they had the potential, was just like, yo, but like somebody like a Bryce Young, to me, I only feel like they jumped on him because he won the Heisman. And I think that they just felt like, you know what, because we're so ass, we can't, like, God forbid we let this dude rock out and he goes and be successful somewhere. Like, it was too much of a risk. Like, we had to. Even though when you look at him, I don't even think that man is barely 6. I don't even think he's 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? He don't have an arm. He was in a system that benefited him, and he had studs around him. That's the same thing with your man. What's my man from Georgia last year? I wasn't really high on him.
Oh, you talking about Stetson Bennett?
Yeah, Bennett wasn't high on him. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, even with like
you better see it this year.
Like Peck.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm not high on him either. You know what I'm saying? But like, because my thing is like, yo, you're around stud. Now, if you're on an ass team, and more than likely you're gonna go to an ass team, are you gonna be able to do that same thing? And it's like, no.
For the record, I like Stetson Bennett because he has the first name of one of my favorite colognes in that little triple pack you would get as a kid. Stetson Cool Water and Brute 33.
Yeah, Gary. By the way, I don't count CJ Stroud as going through a sophomore slump. I just think everybody's hurt.
Yeah, that too. And the line.
I just think I'll take Stroud any day of the week.
Yeah,
on my team, any day of the week.
CJ is Timothy. Like he's excluded from this conversation.
Now I do believe the Willie Beeman part of it. It does seem like the offensive line is like, if you know, Willie Beam. But I do agree with that. Like, they just, hey.
Here's something else we all can agree on. They was them boys, and now they just man.
They just
so you gotta bring these guys up.
Well,
because George is watching.
Yeah.
I marvel at their demise, yo. I really do. Like,
now you know it's really bad because this week their running back who they cut to bring back this year, who has not played at all, Zeke Elliott. He's not playing this game for disciplinary reasons.
Yep.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I know we
travel with them.
Yeah.
I know Dowd is back, but I ain't know for disciplinary reasons.
Yeah.
He didn't even travel with him.
He's not. Mike McCarthy, your motherfucking days are numbered. Like, when now it's one thing to be losing, but now you start to see this. Now you're seeing disciplinary issues. If you gotta take you back several years ago when they were having all those disciplinary issues. What's the young man who got caught for stealing like some draws and some cologne and that whole situation? But I forget his name. They talk about him all the time. You have a lot of stuff. Yeah, you know, the Greg Hardy situation from back in the day. You got your owner is losing his goddamn mind. And everybody's overpaid. You got a quarterback that's overpaid. You're not going to be able to pay. It looks like your middle linebacker defensive end who did a poll and didn't even put your quarterback in the top 10 on his pot. That it's so much happening in Dallas. It's so bad. But this is, what's y'all take on this? And we got to stay on it long, but what's your take on watching the dismantling of a team that realistically should at least have one Super Bowl in the last 5 years, bro?
No, I don't think that they should have had realistically 0 Super Bowls, and I'm not even saying that from no hate. They're not like that. They not like that. My thing is, and here's the number one problem, and this is where I will agree with the respectable Cowboys fans, and there's only a few of them. The number one problem with the Cowboys is Jerry Jones.
Oh, we talk about that all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, until Jerry Jones relinquishes his authority, and things of that nature, they're gonna be in the same boat. If you look back when the Cowboys, when they became them boys, or they got into that golden era, they had a coach in Jimmy Johnson who bucked the system. Like, he bumped heads with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Jones, like, if you ask him, like, if you ask Jimmy Johnson, like, they had issues. You know what I'm saying? But you saw that was when they was the most successful, when he had to let Jimmy Jones, like, have some kind of level of control. You know what I'm saying? Right now, nobody's gonna you're not gonna get that type of coach that you need, because the coach is gonna be on some I gotta fall within what Jerry Jones want me to do. There's no autonomy here. You know
I was
what I'm
about
saying?
to say there is no coach. It's Jerry
That's
Jones.
but it's Jerry Jones. So that's what I'm saying. And what Jerry Jones has been doing for the last 20-something years hasn't been working. So it's gonna be the same situation.
The
And
whole reason Jimmy
the
Johnson was gone is
hold on.
because Jerry Jones wanted that credit.
Right. And the last point, the ill thing, and I hate to admit this, there's players that would love to go to the Cowboys just because of the name or because they grew up as fans. But because it's Jerry Jones, and because Jerry Jones is stubborn and he want to do things the way that he want to do it, they're going to be content. They're going to continue to hurt. This is why you paid Dak $60 million. Ain't no way in hell he should have got $60 million. There's no way in hell he should have been the highest paid quarterback in the league.
This
season is over.
This is why I say, Earl, this is now. If I told you your team, your New York Giants, 2021 they were 12-5, 2022 they were 12-5, 2023 they were 12-5. Each one of those years, they were first in points, fourth in points, first in points for offense. They were fifth in points, and seventh in points defensively. Would you not expect to have a Super Bowl one of those years?
Oh, I mean, they could have easily been up there for a Super Bowl with this squad. The squad that they originally had together.
That's why I'm saying, over the last 5 years, everything else aside, those numbers there, you first in points and you're top 5 in defensive points. And you're
throughout the years, they should have been spoken about the same way we speak about the 49ers, going to the NFC Championship and having a shot. That's exactly how we should have been speaking about.
They lost in the wild card, they lost in the divisional round, and they lost in the wild. Hell, last year they lost to the youngest team in the league in the damn Green Bay Packers, a game that they shouldn't. Well, you saw how it happened. So and now they're about to go. It looks like they on their way to revisiting those dungeons, because prior to 2021, 2020 was 6-10. I know COVID year. 2019 8-8. 2018 they were 10-6. 2017 it was 9-7. They going the opposite way, bro. They're going the opposite way. Now they're not going to get a quarterback anytime soon. They're going to lose their top tier players. They can't rebuild anywhere. I mean, they do well in the draft, but now they're going to get another coach. Dallas may be pulling up the rear, no pun intended, in the NFC East for the next few years, man. And that's behind the Giants. And we all agree that the Giants are looking for a quarterback because the defense is pretty damn solid. Get some skilled players here. Now you're looking at, literally Dallas being in fourth there, and now capped out, and their owner going nuts. Yikes! That's all I can say. That is yikes, man. Before we get into our picks, man, this season so far, your biggest disappointment this season? All the teams that you had expectations for, who's your biggest NFL disappointment this season?
I mean, it ain't gonna be the Giants because we already talked about this shit, so it ain't them.
Biggest disappointment.
Yeah, chat. Let us know, man. Who's your biggest disappointment this season?
Do it have to be a team or can it be a player?
It could be a player or a team. It's up to you.
I would say Miami. The reason why I say Miami only because I understand, put injuries aside, right? You knew it was a liability. You had a liability in a quarterback, right? You let a lot of things go on the defensive side, right? Because their defense last year was nice. They were just riddled with injuries. But then knowing that you had a liability in the quarterback and you had all these offensive studs, literally had the fastest offense, but they can't do it. They're rendered powerless because you don't have nobody to get them to rock. So why not put somebody in there and have a security blanket? You know what I'm saying? They didn't have it. So as a result, their season is kind of in the dirt. And now you got this guy, Tua, that's coming back. And I hate to say, and I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt he makes it out of this season healthy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was just one that came to mind. And I would say the second one for me would be the New York Jets. Lord have mercy. I felt like they messed up in thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to be the savior. Then same thing with Woody, like another freaking owner who don't know how to fall back. It made no sense that you fire Salah 4 games in when that seems like if you're going to do something like that, that means you was on the fence about him prior to the season. So you should have got rid of him prior to the season. And then you still don't address the problem, which is the offense, and it's the offensive coordinator. And he still has a job, but he's not calling plays. So, like, for them, yo, they deserve every single thing they got. And they just mortgaged off their damn their future because they was on some win now shit, and that's not happening. So I would say Miami and the Jets for me.
What you got, Dave?
So I have a couple. A couple of them been said, so I'm not gonna stay on them. Jets are definitely up there, not only because of bringing Rodgers in, it's how they brought him in. They financed not only now, but they financed off their future to bring him in.
Right.
I mean, they are the New York Packers. Let's just be real. That's the New York Packers over there. So you do something like that, you got to win. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Before Gary even said it,
yeah, I was gonna
tell him to hold back because definitely Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
When you watch them, you sit back and you go, okay, maybe not supposed to be great, but you ain't supposed to be this. That's how I always look at Jacksonville. Right. And it's like they don't even realize some of the weapons they have. Like, they definitely don't know how to use Etienne. They have no idea how to use that guy. And I get mad at it because every single time I bet every single week and I'm looking at these different things, I go, oh, man, yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it because they don't know how to use this guy. But yeah, the Jacksonville. But if you look at Gary's comment right there, I don't really got to go deep on that.
Yeah.
A team that I'm surprised nobody brought up yet, the Bengals. Bruh, like they're doing nothing. They're doing
really
absolutely, but they're doing nothing. Like, nobody's scared to see them.
Because
you can't even blame it on like Burrow not being there or
I think they started the year off wrong. Remember, their offensive line was trash for the last 5 years, right? That still hasn't really changed. Then you come in and your best player, like, he's in a contract situation that still ain't get rectified. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then Burrow was coming off the injury, and then you let
a bad look over
there. You let a safety net go to Mixon, go to the Texans, like they and
it's a bad look over there. And then go ahead.
No, I'm saying, is that the quickest window close you've ever seen? They were like, Super Bowl, gone. That's it. That's
that's what I'm saying to you. Like, I'm like, okay, Burrow's gonna come back after this injury. People are sleeping on them. Oh yeah, this was gonna happen. And every time I look at them, I'm like, nah, they don't look right. They don't look right.
Their defense. Now I knew coming into the season their defense was going to be struggling. I didn't know it was going to be this bad, but I guess we kind of figured it was going to be this bad the moment we saw Joe Burrow come in and he had shaved his head. It's like, again, you got to check on your strong friends. He came in and dyed it and shaved that shit. I was like, ooh. Oh, no. Circle back around to that one thing we always talk about the team. The disappointment for me, Jacksonville, Doug Peterson. Remember when he could coach? Like, what happened? Like, I'm dead ass like, what the fuck happened to Doug Peterson? You know, the Philly special and all that. You know, we gave them a mulligan. Yeah, we gave them a mulligan that first year because Urban Meyer was around there kicking kickers and shit. But he got down there and they looked like they were doing well. They had Calvin Ridley down there. But then Doug Peterson, bro, his ass will not be there at the end of the season. You can book that. That is not happening. And the only reason you don't get more pub on it is because they play in Jacksonville. If he was in one of the other major markets, they've been on his ass. That's it. The Jets are without saying. The Jets are the Jets. They ain't the Jets are the Jets. But I gave my rant a couple weeks ago. This is what you're gonna get. Yeah, they won this week. And then I had to ask you guys this though, because everybody always wants to be the one to supplant, in my opinion, still the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life. Live Thursday night, because we didn't do a recap. Thursday night, yes, the Jets won over the Houston Texans, and Garrett Wilson pulled off a Jordan-esque type like symbol catch.
Gave me 30 points in fantasy. Thank you, Garrett.
Yeah, he did. And then the part about this though, we talking about, hey, what's the illegal block in the back? I'm trying to figure out what's the catch is, because he had a shin that was down. They called it a catch. I thought that shit was out, whatever. But that was a catch, and they was like, hey, we think this is better than the catch, which I still don't believe it. Then this catch. There's still no catch better. I had to go watch the video to make sure I wasn't seeing something wrong. One, on that play, Carr had
he was being blatantly held on that.
And got 2 feet down, a hand, and everything.
And caught it with 3 fingers.
Absolutely.
Ain't no way. It just doesn't compare.
This was good. This was good.
Only reason why I would say now, in terms of what was more significant,
I'm gonna see if you're gonna say what I was about to say.
The Jets one was more significant because they actually won that game. Where
Thank
the
you.
Giants lost.
Yeah, that's why I don't even like bringing up that play so much, because I'm like, at the end of the day, we lost.
Hey, we lost again.
I get it. I get it. It's a. But to our point from earlier, it also goes to show you where the rules are now, because that also happened in the Miami game. You guys saw the Miami highlight. The young man from Duke caught a crazy one-handed catch like that. But where the defender whiffed on the tackle, we know 10 years ago, his ass would have got blown up. Like they don't.
But you know what? Stay there for a moment. Yeah. Because this is where I think rules get messed up. They have in a rule book that in the NFL, you got to get 2 feet down to be in bounds.
Yes.
That's incorrect.
It's not.
You don't have to get 2 feet down. You got to get 2 separate feet down. Because if you remember that game, I forgot who it was. He got his, I want to say, right foot down twice.
That was,
and they counted him out because he didn't get his left foot down.
That was a guy one for.
But he got his right foot down. Oh, yeah, one of the feet he got down twice before he went down, and they were like, "No, it's not a catch because he has to get his other foot down." And I was like, "Well, technically, you got 2 feet down. It was just the same foot."
Yeah.
So you can count a shin scrape in the ground as far as being in, but you can't count 2 of the same foot coming down. Like that means I could be off balance, bounce on my left leg 3 times, and you telling me I'm not in. Yet I got control of the ball and everything. That makes no sense.
I knew that this was going to come up, so I actually pulled up, and this is for public consumption, guys. The official playing rules of the NFL, if you guys can see it on the for NFL. This is the official rule book for the National Football League, and I want to give you what their actual definition of a catch is. So, possession of a loose ball, and what I mean by this, whether you're catching, intercepting, or fumbling, and this is action 7, item 2, possession of loose ball. To gain possession of a loose ball that has been caught, intercepted, or recovered, a player must have complete control of the ball and have both feet or any other part of his body other than his hands completely on the ground in bounds, and maintain control of the ball long enough to perform any act common to the game. If a player loses the ball while simultaneously touching both feet or any other part of his body to the ground, there is no possession. This rule applies in the field of play and in the end zone. That's their official rule. I don't know how this. I guess the other part of it is the shin, but I watched that play and I'm like, I don't know how that's good.
The shin scrape, but the knee was out. I didn't. It was so weird to me because immediately I just thought in my mind. So I was like, so a person tapping their 1 foot twice, which is even harder to do.
Right.
That is not a catch, but a person just sliding their shin, a piece of their. I was like, okay, all right, well. You know, so a person getting their elbow down is in like,
So all you guys, putting money on some of these games and using all that. I hope you guys have been doing well. But I think my guys got probably a couple little tips for you. I hope you guys ready. Y'all ready to put something on it?
Oh, that's fine. Let's put something on it. Straight up, let's just get right into it. Bet anything on the backfield of the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what's going on. I don't care if it's Gibbs or Montgomery Gibbs. I don't care if it's anytime touchdowns. I don't care if it's 40 yards. I don't care if it's receiving. Bet anything that you want on the Detroit Lions backfield. You're going to get your money. You're going to get your money. That's my first statement on it. Where you at, Earl?
I agree on touchdowns as well. For Gibbs and Montgomery. I would also say bet anything on bet $1 million that Jalen Hurts is going to score. Shit, he might get you two.
Yep.
He might get you two. I would not take Saquon on scoring because let it be known that when they're in, I would say within 5 yards or so, that's Jalen Hurts country. And don't let him go ahead.
Here's another one for you. And people can challenge me on it because they don't know this person going to play. They're not going to play. Oh, he is going to play, but injury status is up there for this person. I don't care who's out there. Matthew Stafford is going to throw for 225 plus yards. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't even know who the hell he be throwing to. The janitor's out there. He throw the ball 225 yards. It's getting done. So I don't think we talk about him enough, to be honest with you. I don't think the league talks about that man enough. He is ridiculous. And he's one of those people that honestly I think has gotten better the older he gets.
Absolutely.
Honestly gotten better.
Here's the receivers that he's thrown to this year for the Rams. Tutu Atwell, DeMarcus Robinson, Colby Parkinson, Jordan Whittington, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Johnson, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Hunter Long, Blake Corum, and then Xavier Smith had like 2 receptions. Like outside of Cooper and Puka and DeMarcus Robinson, everybody else they just be popping up.
Cooper and Puka.
Yeah.
Here's a game to totally stay away from. The Patriots against the Titans. Don't touch it. Don't even look at it. I don't care what the odds are. Don't mess with that game. I'm just letting you know. I told you early. You know, I used to be able to sit back and say, you know what? Let me mess with Stevenson a little bit. No, don't touch nobody in that game.
It's rough. It's rough out there for him, man. Oh God.
Here's another thing. One more before we go. Here's another one. Here's an extra bonus. And some people can disagree with me on this. I honestly am always trivial about picking a Ravens tight end because I never know who they're going to.
Yeah.
Likely could be the one to shine, or Andrews could be the one to shine. Andrews is the one picking it up now for the last couple of weeks. Likely started off the season, killing it. You just don't know. So tread lightly. I'm not telling you not to use any of them because Andrews is shining right now. If you pick him for like 25, he is shining right now. But just beware because the very next week, he will have nothing.
Yep.
And likely will have over 100 yards. So just tread lightly when you're specifically the tight ends for the Ravens.
Oh, man. It's been a good week. Let's get into it, guys. I was 12-4, by the way.
Listen, before you get deep into this, I gotta let y'all know the work that gets put into, that goes into, I should say, getting this stuff together. Gary, I gotta give true shout outs to you because you and I last week were on the phone for damn near an hour going back and forth, trying to figure out any technical difficulties that were going on because the numbers weren't mathing. The math wasn't mathing.
The math wasn't mathing.
It wasn't working. So Gary and I honestly went through each week of picks. So far, so I'm talking about going back and listening to recordings for the picks, going on the YouTube and stuff. So we got the exact thing there. Jay, I know you always ask because I know how it breaks down on there. It looks a little different. Overall, Jay, if you look at the overall, you're third between everybody. So I know you always ask. But yeah, Shawn, you had a great week. Went 12-4. I went 11-5. Earl went 10-6, but Earl still has that lead out there. But yeah, shout out to Gary, man, because I mean, when I say we were doing this thing, we were doing it. My wife is looking at me like, God damn, this is a job. Like,
it definitely has been some interesting takes, man. Like when I go back and do like edits over the year, I'm like, yo, we were giving some real interesting ass takes and stuff like that. So it's pretty good.
It was real.
Shout out to my assistant producers. You guys are great. You guys are great. It's a community affair, guys. It's a community affair. All right, let's get into this first game, man. We got the 3-4 Dallas Cowboys at the Falcons, 5-3. Give me Falcons.
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 Head blow up on this next radio. Somebody take the goddamn mic away from him. Like, don't even let him call. Don't let him use a phone, a cup and a string. Don't do none of that.
Not the cup and the string.
It's wild, man. You talking about giving people scholarships on the team. Where's your son at?
That's like somebody, I ain't gonna say their name, but that's like somebody listening to the people around him saying, don't say this or else you're going I'm just okay. It ain't gonna happen. Just put it that way. It's not gonna happen.
Fair enough. What y'all got in chat? What y'all got? You know. We have Falcons in there.
Huh? Oh, for Gary's?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's for Jay.
No. I saw Jay's. I said, you waiting for Gary's?
Yeah.
I'll get Malik's if it's not on there already.
Malik.
Oh, I already have Gary's.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with it. Let's got it. Broncos at Ravens. Man, this could be a potential upset.
No, the Ravens lost last week, so they're gonna win this week. And they at home. They ain't even no talking. Just cut the bullshit.
Where we going?
And they lost to Jameis Winston. They're gonna come out and probably rip their heads off, yo.
I know where Earl's going. Where you going, Shawn?
Don't go with the Broncos. Just say it, bro.
I am, man. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
All right, I got the Ravens.
Yeah, that secondary really troubles me, and that Broncos. It's no.
They got a defense.
Yeah,
they got a defense.
That's I got Broncos in this game.
All right, everybody's in.
Dolphins at Bills. Yeesh. Bills. Sorry.
I got the Bills too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay.
Yeah, Bills.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Earl, you can't talk that shit about the Dolphins. Then pick
No, sir.
Like, they ain't shit. Yeah, I picked the Dolphins.
That's why I'm saying stay with them there. Look, I'm with you, Jay, as far as the Miami Hurricanes, but not Miami Dolphins.
I see what you did there.
I'm just saying.
Bills.
This is a division game too? Yeah. You talking about an unwatchable ass game. Shit.
Oh, God. I'm going.
Woo. Saints. Bryce Young is playing. So, Saints.
I got the Saints, man.
Game, but
yeah. I don't. The hell. That's. What the hell? Them Carolina fans, bro. I know they gotta be like, you know what? Some bullshit here. And you guys know a lot of the Carolina Panthers fans, prior to them bringing them down there, 96, 97, whatever year. Majority of that region was Washington Redskin fans. Some of them might be like, fuck this Carolina shit.
Listen, remember I said it. This is one of those teams that Deion talking about. Shador Sanders get picked by the Panthers. Best believe
he ain't going.
He ain't going there.
Actually, I'll say this. I won't say that he. The Panther. Yeah, the Panther.
Yeah. Best believe he's not going there, bro.
He ain't going there.
And look, first of all, David Tepper, I feel like he probably throw that naysayer word around quite a bit. Nah, Shador ain't going out there. And nah.
It ain't happening.
He ain't going.
Nah. Oh man. We got Raiders at Bengals.
I got the Bengals. I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess by default I got the Bengals.
I got the Raiders in this game. All right.
I can't even talk shit on that one because it's yeah. What we got? Bengals for Jay.
I'm the only one on the Raiders this week.
Yep.
I want you to do well, Antonio Pierce, but
you got 2 1-offs. The Broncos is the 1-off, and the Raiders. Keep on
Chargers at Browns.
I got Chargers.
I got the Browns. I'm gonna ride with Jameis in them. I got the Browns, man. I got the Browns. And their defense still plays.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I got the Browns, man.
All right, so that's my 1-off.
Yeah.
Browns don't let me down now.
Browns for Jay. That's my 1-off with everybody.
Hey, that's we talked about Sam Darnold.
Gary got the Browns.
Let's not forget about Jameis, man. All the other stuff aside, Jameis he's been Tampa Bay, and where else? He's been somewhere else prior to that, I feel like. What did he get drafted to, Jameis?
Earl has the Browns. Oh, okay.
Wasn't it the dog? I mean, wasn't it? Was it Tampa Bay?
Are you talking about a guy who
he was with the Saints too at one point?
Jay has the Browns.
He stayed in the league.
Okay,
and
I see you updated.
He's proven to be a very viable backup quarterback who can win you some games. He may throw some picks, but he's gonna throw some touchdowns too, and he's gonna give some very rousing team
rousing
speeches. But
rousing.
Hey, that's what does.
Rousing.
Commanders at Giants. Commanders scored touchdowns this week. I got Commanders.
I'm gonna actually go to Giants this week. I'm gonna go to Giants.
I got the Commanders.
That hurt.
Not doing this.
That shit hurt.
Dave, it's funny because
Dave, I feel you, yo. I really feel
ain't doing that shit.
I want to say this.
Doing this bullshit.
Yeah. Let me say, it was so much hurt behind that. I ain't doing this because I felt that. I understand. I understand it.
Listen, off mic.
You don't have to explain to me, brother.
No. Forget that. Someone had the nerve to call me up yesterday to ask me what I was doing today because they wanted to get together for a cookout for the game. I ain't naming.
That was not the point.
You know what? Let me just say it. I ain't naming motherfuckers on this game. But they look like.
Oh my god!
They look like somebody that's born with a beard.
I know.
To call me up.
No. So you know what the other thing is? He called me early in the week and asked me talking about he like come up to the game.
I want to fellowship with my brothers, man.
Come in here, see that.
And for everybody who's trying to clown, like, hey, y'all field goal kicker is the MVP. Fuck it, I claim it. We haven't had a kicker in so long. Austin Seibert has made 23 of 25 field goals. He's 92%. So goddamn it, yes, he is a valuable player. So you know what?
Listen, Shawn called me up about that game. He was like, all right, well, then where you going to be at? What you going to be doing? I was like, man, I went and got my mom yesterday. We probably going to be at a winery. Watch no goddamn game.
I don't know. I just like to cook out and drink. That's all I like to do.
To the next game.
Patriots at Titans. Struggle ass game here, brother.
I got the pass.
I got the pass in this game. Their rookie quarterback. Oh shoot, what is his name? Damn.
Oh,
Get rid of that. For the Pats.
Drake May.
Drake May has actually looked well, man. He's actually looked good so far. They got a lot of holes to fill, but he's actually played relatively well. He's played a lot better than Will Levis. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Will Levis, fuck yeah, gosh almighty, yikes! Give me some Tennessee whiskey in his life. See what I did there?
I got the Titans.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You got the Titans. All right.
Is he injured? He
Oh,
might be.
May?
Yeah.
He playing.
Playing though. Yeah, so he's a big guy. He good. Yeah.
I'm going off Patriots defense anyway, so it don't matter for me.
Dry Mayo, your days are numbered as well. I apologize. I mean, we had like I think a NFL high in black head coaches. That's just gonna be an NFL low next year. That's rough. The Bears at Cardinals. Sorry, Bears fans, but y'all took that L last week. I got the Cardinals. Yep, I got the Cardinals.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
Because I feel like a game like that, bro, can end up putting your season into a tailspin. Like all of a sudden, they just like the way it was coached and everything else. Yeah,
I'm going with the Bears.
All right, Kyler. What y'all thinking Arizona?
Bears. Cardinals game. All right.
Jaguars at Eagles. Yes, G-Fish, I'm picking the Eagles because I can't pick the Jaguars.
Yeah, I got the Eagles.
Pretty much how it's going.
They got the Eagles.
Pretty much how it's going.
You're in the wrong place, Gary.
We got.
Hold on a second. Let me make sure you heard that. Malik, give us your picks afterwards. I'll call you because you're gonna mess this whole thing up.
We do this every week, Malik. Every week.
Here you go with the Jags. He said you already know, sadly. Yeah, you can stay with the home. I'll get it. Lions against my Packers.
Here's the Eagles. Lions, Packers. I got the Lions.
The Lions.
You got a growing pool and Jordan Love.
Yeah, he went down. I was like, I was scared for him when he went down on that play. Like
I got the
afterwards, and I was like, what just
Lions?
happened?
I got the Lions in this game. I got the Lions in this game. I know I should pick Packers. I got the Lions though. Yes, I know. I know.
Skibbity bap. Skibbity bitty bap. Skibbity bitty bap.
Rams at Seahawks. I'm gonna ride with the Rams, man. Matthew Stafford. Dave's point. The Seahawks, they are kind of disappointing me in a way. They started off real hot and then all of a sudden, don't know what happened.
I got the Rams.
It's starting to the rest of the mean. I don't like it.
Everybody with the Rams. Where you at, Jay?
What you got on there?
OVO. Say OVO.
All right. For the Rams.
Rams in place. All right, cool. Colts at Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings. Sunday night
I'm going with
game.
the Vikings.
I don't know how exciting this is.
Yeah, the bit of the Icons. The bit of the Icons. I'm going with.
Not Chase, but Jefferson. Sorry. LSU boys. I think he's gonna show out. The Colts. Who they got? Andy Dalton playing, I think. Or
Who knows?
Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, I think. Who the hell is that quarterback? Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Oh, for the Colts, yeah, it's Flacco. Yeah, we were talking about it.
Now this could be one of those games that Joe all of a sudden, he has those games. He throws for 300 yards. You're like, what the hell? I got a Vikings, man. That defense gonna give them hell. Nah, no love for Flacco on this one. I think that defense is going to be a problem for him. You're going to throw some picks. Let's show.
All right.
Buccaneers at Chiefs. Ain't every one of their receivers hurt in Tampa Bay?
I got the Chiefs. Yeah.
Got the Chiefs.
Still in Shepherd.
I got the Chiefs. Got the Chiefs. They ride the 8-0. Their defense is legit.
And they got Hopkins now.
Baker gonna throw some picks. Keep throwing some picks in this game. They're gonna get.
Despite losing half of their receivers, they still made it.
He'll still get the yards.
Yeah,
he's
still
bet on that.
Yeah,
he's gonna throw.
He's gonna throw for sure. He might throw to the other team, but he's gonna throw.
He's gonna throw.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yes, he is. I said, yes, he is.
Bengals at Ravens, our Thursday night Week 10 game. I got Ravens in this game. Yeah, I think they bounced back from maybe an upset today.
I got the Ravens.
Circling back around to the MVP talk. If the Ravens don't win their division and they got multiple losses, does that kind of take Lamar out of the MVP race, you think? Just based off of that? And they give it to whoever, a Josh Allen type, if they got a good record. It's going to come down to record, I feel like.
I don't think it'll take him out, especially if he's still putting up the numbers that he puts up. So,
but you know what they're gonna say though? If the Bills have a better season record-wise than that, they're gonna look at Josh Allen. All he got is.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely look at it. I'm just answering how it was thrown at me. Will it take him out? I don't think it'll take him out. Yeah. Less of a chance to win. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that, Jay, but I don't think they upset. Their defense is just too bad. They can't stop the run at all in Cincinnati. They can throw, but they be on some. That's dope. It's LaShawn McCoy. Is he still like and this is a legit question. Is he still like favored? I guess he is in Philly like that, because his post career antics be kind of like sometimes. But when he played in the Eagles, yeah, absolutely, he was a monster. No.
I mean, Tiki was the same way. I hate him after him retiring and doing his goddamn talk. But he still did what he did with the Giants. But yeah, I can't stand listening to Tiki do any type of analyzing.
Good point there, Gary. That's an unsung guy right there. Jared Goff got passed around because they didn't really want him, and now he is balling in Detroit.
Yeah,
man. He is balling.
That was a great trade on both sides. We're not over, right? We have a Sunday morning game.
Oh shit, we do? What's that? I always forget.
Yeah, we could just roll past it. It's the Giants.
It's the Giants and the Panthers.
Y'all playing in Germany, right?
Yeah. Look, let's not talk about it deep. Let's just do the picks. I got the Giants in this one.
Who are they playing? I'm sorry, I don't even know who the hell they playing.
The Panthers.
Oh shit.
The struggle game.
Yeah. Giants. How did y'all get Germany first game?
Look, man, I just said let's not stay on it. Let's just get these damn picks. I got the Giants. Earl, who you got?
Yeah, I got Giants.
I got the Giants. All I would say is if they lose, Daboll and Shawn need to get fired. Both of them.
Gary picked Carolina too.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Hating ass, Gary.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
that dude's my person.
they lose this game, they may leave his ass where the former Berlin Wall was. Hey, keep your ass out here, brother. That's wild. I had no idea. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
And my picks like this. That's some bull.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What they say? Wrap that shit up, B.
Wrap it up.
Maybe that dry brought. Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Yeah.
Brats.
That's our picks for this week, man. That's our show for this week. Anything we want to close out for before we hit these credits, fellas? Anything? Nothing.
I'm debating if I'm gonna watch the Giants game. If I'm debating.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. With that, I am complete.
Fair enough. It's Football Talk Live, Hot Seat style. Yay.